Up next, we have track 7, and it's called Missing Out.
Missing Out, what do we got, Cole? Missing Out, what can we tell about this one?
Well, this song started, we had a session with our wonderful friend and producer talent, John DeBold. He
Again, I wasn't in town for this.
Dillon was out of town when this session happened. Yeah, another session at Heavy Duty, where we ended up recording the album. And let's think, it was just another day that day.
It's just another day. I mean, I remember we were just arriving back into the United States from London because we played some shows there, and we got to the session, and one of the first things we started playing was just a little acoustic line, which is, we can kind of hear it here. John made the beat, but this. So Cole did the faster one.
Yeah, like the most Sugar Ray riff that we could come up with.
So then we just started riffing on melodies and stuff, and it was just a very inspired session. Like, what you want when you're writing music is to actually feel really inspired when you're making it. This session, I just remember, like, it's the kind of thing where we were all just kind of like, you know, bouncing around
like,
and
this is so
very
funny.
happy, and you know, Dillon was out of town. No, just kidding.
It was group partying.
I'm just kidding, no. But no, it's just, and then yeah, started writing that riff, and then just I wanted the melodies to be very just of that era, you know what I mean, of like the early 2000s or something, naturally. And I don't know, we made the song, and I guess we can keep playing this a little bit.
Yeah, the chorus on this demo feels so good. When you guys sent this to me, I was so into it. I loved, like, this was also in line with when we were trying to go with a more like
bridge, of course, which is now the ending. But yeah, Cole, turn this chorus up.
Maybe that's alright. Maybe that's okay. You'll be missing out.
So crazy.
Mark McGrath.
Something's different now. We've been changing.
So funny.
Better off one of these days you'll see.
This is vocals.
Anyway, maybe that's enough of that demo, I guess. But
Oh, wait, I love the bridge part of this one too. Yeah, turn it up.
I'm thinking of you. I'm thinking of you.
I guess this is kind of what led us to what the back half of the final version ended up being, right?
Yes.
In some ways.
I love this version. I'll forever miss this version a little bit. But I love where it turned out. But I'm just saying, like, just this version of this song is like,
Yeah.
it was totally new for us when you sent it to me. It was very much like early 2000s pop song, like you're saying, and I thought it was so cool. And it was very in line with like sort of what we were trying to go for originally with the album, like very lush, like more sort of kind of R&B leaning, like sort of more acoustics involved. Like that's where we were going with the album, like way originally before COVID, like all that stuff, our thought process of the next thing. You texted me that night, you're like, you're gonna go in the studio tomorrow.
Oh, right.
Don't be mad at us. You're gonna be shocked at like this new version we did of. We did something crazy. I was like, what? And then lo and behold, I come to the studio the next day, and then like they turned it into this like totally like smashed sounding, just like 90s garage, like Guided by Voices style thing. I remember being like, oh my god, I did not.
Just out of left field.
At all.
Yeah, out of left field.
It's so different.
You were doing vocals into like just a kind of a shitty, just like handheld.
We sang it basically like a 57. Just
Yeah.
like in the studio, we sang it.
Yeah.
But it sounds cool because it's like demo-y in that way.
Yeah, and I was blown away, but then we ended up sort of like making it even weirder and mending that like into what we were starting with, and it sort of like has this outro and this string swell. It's like it kind of brings a lot of the sides of the record into one song.
Right.
And it's so short too. It's like
Yeah.
it's like, I mean, I don't know the final length, but like the first half of the song it goes by so quickly.
Yeah. It's an odd song. I'd say it's like in a lot of ways the weirdest Wallows song.
And then yeah, lyrically, I don't know, it was just inspired by like the idea of like breaking up with someone and then potentially missing out on the life you could have had. So for better or for worse, or if someone breaks up with you and you're missing out on the life you could have had. So it's that kind of thing that I and that was like some of the first lyrics I sang, going back to that again, where we were doing the demo, and it was like, you'll be missing out on a beautiful life, whatever. And then it just stuck, and we just wrote the lyrics based off that. And actually, another fun fact, the verse is actually a verse from Dillon, a song Dillon wrote when he was like 15.
Oh, right.
So there was like the, we'll ignore, but we cannot deny. I'm sure it's there.
Oh,
That's a
right.
song Dillon wrote when he was like 15 years old. Or
Wait.
16.
Right.
Yeah, that was like, we ended up working on this as a demo with ourselves, and we were like talking about like potential albums. So
Right.
we ended up bringing this back up, but it was like,
Oh, this is it.
it was like,
Oh, right. I forgot we did
It's a
this.
whole new song idea, separate to Missing Out.
Weirdly similar to the vibe of the Sugar Ray.
that's when we
thing.
were like, oh, it kind of has the Missing Out vibe.
Right.
And then the melody here.
Oh my
Crazy.
god.
Yeah, Missing Out, man.